we have to do more demonstrations on the screen, some more tests. I want to do 1,000 lumen tests right now. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. This is the next level and our final, which means when I told you before that we're not going to be making anything else. Right now, I've not said that before many times before, but yeah, the black is going to be the end, and the exotics, they're probably going to continue on, but as in for black technology, besides the 67 series, that is going to be part of Black Series technology. So beyond Black Series, there's nothing else really for us to do. As I told you before, the situation which I'm about to move up to, this particular technology will be displayed in the storefronts, and just about everything we'll be able to get our hands on online and offline, and these are going to be the finals. This is the reason why we are going to take the time to have attorneys step in and basically process certain paperwork to protect the product. Product will not be launched until all the paperwork is finalized and done. And right now we're showing you the next level. Now, like I said, 67s in the future are going to be for part of the Black Series technology. All right, so let me get a few things I'm going to need for this demonstration. Right now we're on our Sony SW, or sorry, this is a Sony VPL. Sure that so we can actually have it on document. Sony VPL SVGA, so SVGA VPL. This is a CS4 projector at 1,000 lumens. You can see we got our distance throw from the screen. This is the biggest come up. They only do 4.3. It's a very old projector. This projector was discontinued in 1999, I believe, around that time. So this is a very old model. We like using the older models because if we can get this projector to pull, anything will pull. All right, so let me go upstairs. Excuse the white on my hands. As I said before, this is a cream for basically how many times I got bit in my backyard, which I'm still trying to figure out how that even happened. But a couple of days ago, I had to went in the front of the yard. I have a pretty good sized yard, so back of the house, side of the house, front of the house, and in between the front and, I guess, inside the yard in the front and in the driveway, and then the whole side of my my area is covered in green. It's like a freaking small jungle out there, so I had to cut everything down. And eventually I thought it was okay, but had some complications with basically my allergies triggering off and freaking bites from freaking bugs. I don't know what bit me when I was back there, but I'm so glad that my next transition will not involve a backyard. Thank goodness. Don't get me wrong, I love the backyard, but man, I'm telling you, the things they got back there are freaking nightmares sometimes, I tell you. But at least there's a silver lining to it all. Because I never could use the backyard the way I wanted to due to the fact that I'm allergic to whatever is back there. So silver line is where I'm going at. No backyard. No cutting, nothing. So that's the happy part about it all. Enough research. The backyard saved me a lifetime. These are black paint. We're going to do a lot of demonstrations of different forms of black surfaces. We get a lot of rise out of those, showing that the technology does not match any form of black material whatsoever. All right, so let's get this one started. So as you can see in the demonstration, no dark environments. We don't like to work in dark environments. Plenty of light, nice and bright, keeping it nice. Projector's right here, good distance from the screen. And as I said before, this projector is a portable. They only do 4.3, that is it. Been getting asked all this last couple of days, what's the lumen count going to be, what's the minimum. This will allow us to see exactly where we're going to be at with this. All right. So we have to do a white level test, and we have to do a black level test, black versus black. Oh, we don't have Wi-Fi complications, and really don't feel like going through that tonight. Here we go. White screensaver. Sorry about that. Wash the stuff off my hand. All right. Let's begin. We're going to start off with black levels first. We have several black surfaces. We have black film, black paint, and black fabric. We did this demonstration outside on the strip of the black fabric, showing that for people, sometimes we get that question all the time, what if I use a black bed sheet or a white bed sheet? Is it going to do the same thing as our product? And no, it's not. We're also going to be designing a website, my goodness, a Facebook fan page for the technology. That way we can display tons of pictures on it because, as I said before, I'm running out of room on my website. I'm literally going to have somebody come in, restructure the website, and build one from the ground up because we do not literally have enough room. We're maxing out our website, so we don't have room for it. So we have some stuff we can put on there. The stuff that's going to be replacing a lot of the technology we have on the site. It will be the only one left, or actually only one that will be there on the site, but that's going to take some time. But until then, we want to show all the pictures and demonstrations. I just show over about 30, 40 pictures on the outside demonstrations alone. So tonight I'll be on Facebook setting up a page for the technology so people can come in and see the results and all that other good stuff. All right, so we're going to start with some black fabric first. Now, this is fantastic because, like I said, we want to make sure that we're able to opt anything out. Because you're going to have people thinking that, okay, first thing, if you're going to be doing, if we're going to do a black fabric, you got to think in the mind of the consumer or in the mind of a person who's doing business with us, they think because they have the 1,000 lumens, not 1,000 lumens, but if they have 5,000, which we used already, they can pull white level through, and it's not going to happen. You're just not going to be able to do it. Now, with our technology with the black surface. Now, the reason why we do the 1,000 lumen, and just show you exactly, even at 1,000 lumens, our screen can still maintain an amazing white level at 1,000 lumens. All right, did I take tape upstairs or downstairs? I'm not sure. If I took it with me, I'll let it down here. Good. That's fantastic, because we can never seem to find tape when we want it. All right, so we're going to apply this. So this one, if you notice out of the list below, that the Fusions, not the Fusion, sorry, the Black Series has a lineup. The Black Series editions. So the editions basically involve a dedicated dedicated theater, which is not like the, you have to have a dedicated theater. It's just for theater setups, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. We do have a version, and this is work for ultra short, those and other good stuff, but also ultra compatible. This is strictly, this is a gamer screen paint. You can use it for movies and sports and whatever, but it does produce insane high colors. We're going to have an invisible version. This is going to be fantastic for front and rear technology, especially with these screens right here. Okay, so we're going to put it right here. Right there. That is the black film. And this right here is going to be black house paint. We get that all the time. This shows you that the screen paint under the Fusion will be able to pull up a much better white level when it comes to black fabric, black film, and black paint. All right, so let's sit back here and let's start the demonstration. So basically we're going to start on different snow levels. 4K snow screensavers. It's important that we do these demonstrations in a fully lit environment. As I said before, black screens are not supposed to have the ability to be able to pull up white levels due to the black, and it's going to have a rough time generating white light, especially in a fully lit environment. The more light we introduce to the screen, the more it has to struggle. Now keep in mind, we start off with 1,000 lumens, we never end at 1,000 lumens, that's virtually impossible. Not even outside. No projector does that. That's the reason why when people do long field projectors for commercial setups, they use a projector with a tremendous amount of lumens, because they know they're going to lose a certain amount of lumens as the projector is traveling from A to B. I literally can't see the whatchamacallit. The part that says skip, can't see it, because it's 4.3. And these videos are all set for 16:9. Even though we can use 1,000 lumens on the screen, we do recommend 1,500 lumens. If you want to use 1,000 lumens, it's up to you. I think people get our screen paints working at 900 lumens, even 800 lumen projectors. But it's not what we recommend. Alright, so switch over to another one. Fantasy Snow Screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
Okay. LG Snowboarding.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, probably this week, I'm going to be picking up a Casio projector. These are DLP, laser and LED projector. It's actually a laser projector. Very affordable, but as I said before, not too much of a safe projector. I'm used to being around them. I've had it before. I know the caution line of having them, but I'm going to pick one up. We're going to ask about laser projection on the screen, so we're going to pick one of those up. Those are lamp-free projectors. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, I can't express this enough. When you're developing black technology, these are the tests that black screens have to go through. If you're not seeing these tests, again, that product's not tested. One of the things we see a lot of people doing is basically you're trying to make black screen paint. As they're making black screen paint, go hit it with some contrast levels, very little white levels, dark environments. You can't do that. You have to do a multi-projector swap out. You got extremely high lit environments, and you're going to have to test that product on black paint every single time you display it. Same thing with gray screens. Gray screens need to display their gray levels versus other gray levels. How do they compare to Network Gray 773? How do they compare to Microblend? It's other products. Their Bullseye Primer. There's other products that they need to do these tests against. If they're not properly tested, it's not a product I would go near with a 10-foot pole. Everything we're showing you that we're doing under our technology, everybody's not doing. That's why we go up to buy their products and say, hey, look, we're going to take this down here to our facility for testing. This is what you're going to go through. It's the reason why they will back down automatically, because they don't even know themselves if their product is going to pass. They never did the testing. Most likely, if someone is still trying to get a screen to perform or try to mimic what we're doing here, they're going to use a very high power projector to do it. Because common sense is basically going to tell them that I'm not going to be able to pull the white level from these darker surfaces without a high-end projector. And that's why we have 52s and 5,000 lumen projectors sitting in the shop, because we can show you, even at a high-end projector, you're not going to pull jack, which we showed you already on the Sony projectors and the Chrissy's. Red screen. Now let's see if you can see color. Which one pulls the highest color at 1,000 lumens? Mine. This is 1,000 lumens, probably less than 1,000 lumens because we're in the maximum zone. We're at a great distance from the screen, and we're using a ton of ambient light here, nailing the screen. So that screen's going to have to be to generate a nice bright red, blue, green, and yellow without fading and washing out on 1,000 lumens. Doesn't have the power of 5,000 lumens behind its back anymore. So it's going to have to work. This is why we tell you at the end of the day that, again, our test demonstrations are brutal. So now if we stick the screen in an everyday normal environment, it's going to shine like a diamond. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Slope color change out.
Getting that from YouTube.
Granally adds confidence, so you don't undermine your message. And offers rewrites, so your ideas come through clear.
This is why we explain to certified screens. Understand this. We do not do the same testing that you do at the end of the day. I've seen some of the demonstrations. I've seen you take a white sheet of paper and put it there, but I can understand the theory behind the white surface, because majority of the screens you're going to run into are going to be white screens. They don't test on. I'm pretty sure behind closed doors they probably do test and see what we like against the competition. But we're the opposite. We test against your top and best technology. And we don't use the perks of high-end expensive projectors, because I feel that that's a projector that's going to do more for the screen and the screen's going to do more for the projector. So we use low-end projectors, outdated projectors, and if our screens can do well on a projector this old, then on a newer projector, it's a freaking cakewalk for us. And then, as I said before with the other fellow, I felt like he probably felt a little, what's the word for it? I don't know. I guess, can't think of a word for it. But I'm just being honest with you. Well, I watch all your demonstrations. I watch the calibrating and all that other stuff you do, and as I said before, and I honestly stand behind that, your environments are too dark for us. We are not used to being in such a low lumen environment. Ambient light controlled environments are a complete fail to us. This is the reason why I'm sitting here on this projector that they would never ever use in a demonstration, not let alone display it live, versus a certified versus white screen versus black product. So they wouldn't do it to begin with. So again, environments are too dark for us. And it's the reason why, with one of y'all screens coming here, we can roll right over top of it easily, because we're used to being much harsher and our tests are much more brutal. I'm sitting here explaining it to you. Screen swapping out in different colors. The black fabric, black film, and not paint. It's not even matching the technology. And we're doing this in a fully lit environment, which means our screens require no calibrating. When you hear somebody say calibrating in a demonstration, oh, it'll get better once he calibrates it. Yeah, since you tried to improve the colors on a projector where the colors are already at its top best, you don't need to do anything with that at the end of the day. Calibrating is so old. Calibrating came out when white screens came out. When people were sitting there on slideshows and couldn't do it so much with 35 millimeter, but that's when it came out. When you had the CRT monitors and CRT projectors, all that stuff. That's when calibrating came out on white screens, because white screens lacked the ability to be able to pull better color and better contrast, and this is where people were calibrating. That's nothing new. Now, if you're calibrating a white screen, literally a screen that's been out in the solid era, then there's something wrong with your screen. There is nothing wrong with the projectors we have today. The 720p's, the older models, 2012s, and so forth, there's nothing wrong with those machines at all. They just tell you you have to have these machines because they tell you, hey, if you get a more powerful machine with more better lumens and better this and better that, this will make up for what our screens can't do at the end of the day. But there's nothing wrong with them. The same projector you're seeing before me, the one behind it, the one you're seeing over here, all of these projectors in their heyday basically were displayed on white screens. Even the people who developed those machines didn't even know the full potential of what they had because they were downgrading the machines every time they displayed them onto a white screen, literally thinking that they were getting the best picture quality, but they were getting way less than that. So all those projectors are sitting down there floating all over eBay for these cheap prices, and this is why we grab every last one we can get our hands on, and we have these results from the projectors. This projector we're using right now was designed for office. It was an office portable projector. It was designed for when you're showing your spreadsheets and your graphic charts. I saw them from the demonstrations. It only does up to a 60-inch screen. They put it in a nice dark environment, and they would do their demonstrations. It was a nice little portable projector on a white surface, a white screen, because it would wash out, and that's why they sat in the dark with it. Now, if they had our technology now today, they could do that entire demonstration and spreadsheet in a fully lit environment. So you couldn't look at your documents or spreadsheets because it was dark and you couldn't see your paperwork. Well, now you can sit there in an office meeting, look at your paperwork, and you can display your information right there onto the screen. That's the advantage point of black technology. You see these older machines right here, it brings new life to them. All right, we did the black levels right there. Let's go switch over to a white surface now. Some white surfaces up there, and we'll go from here. Yeah, we're going to do a little fun here. We're going to put our white screen here and our white screen there. A white surface right there. And just take my remote control with me that way. Something that I have a bad habit of doing is carrying remote controls with me, which I should not do. Ever. Not ever. Let me see. Well, I put it that fast, that quick, and I forgot. It's like car keys for driving crazy. Literally. All right, Mr. Bird, what did you lose? Your stuff that fast, that quick. So it was here. What do you think? Oh, there it is, right by the whatchamacallit, right by the projector. Ah, man, I'm telling you. All right, let's go back to that slow color change right there.
Train with the best instructors on the Peloton app. Stay with me, Peloton, and see what you can.
All right. Now, the white screen, well, just imagine, back then at that particular time, this projector was discontinued in 1999. Really old machine. It only does 4.3, that's it. That's as far as it goes. At that particular time, if they tried to use that on a white screen and they were trying to do a colorful chart, that's exactly what they would have picked up on the white screen. The sad thing about it is, this projector, which now probably sits in a bunch of landfills and some are sold, trickled out here and there all over eBay, and this, that, and the other, had the potential to be able to pull up color in a fully lit environment. The only problem is that the technology and screens haven't caught up. Mind you, 1999 it was discontinued. So then, if I take the P2, or any of the newer projectors, which this is the reason why people contact their company, because they have these newer projectors and they can't seem to get the screen to pull contrast and color. They're stuck in dark environments, and if not all of them, do not want to calibrate a projector. They don't want to. So you spend all that money for a machine at the end of the day that you will never ever get the full potential to use. Now, for some people sit there and say, oh, that's not true. Well, look at the contrast level on a projector. You will never use that, ever. Never ever use it. You have literally paid for something that you will never use. When I finally purchased my P2 for my new setup, that particular 2 million to 1 whatever, I'm never going to use that. How would I use it? My screens are jet black, so they do not require it. It's turn it off. The one upstairs has a 20,000 to 1 contrast. It's turned off. We don't need it. Not required. So when you got certain video games, you can manipulate certain settings. You can actually upgrade your contrast levels. Turn it off. Don't need it. It's an option. It's not necessary. So keep in mind that, you know, people have that setting because if you have a gray screen, it's going to be a requirement, but you're not going to pick up a black level. That's virtually impossible. So people go to darker screens. You go to more expensive gunmetal heavy dark screens, but even with that, they pick up a much darker shade of gray compared to the lighter screens or mid-grade screens. But again, you're still not picking up a 100% black level. And then you hit our technology. So what did you just pay for in your projector? You paid for something you will never use. Can't use it on our screens. For what? They're black. And if you use it on a gunmetal screen, you're picking up shades of gray, darker shades of gray. If you get a lighter gray screen, you're still picking up lighter shades of gray. And for people who want to test that theory, well, that's the reason why you never see a real true black starfill demonstration next to a black paint or black fabric at the end of the day, and it doesn't blend because, again, they can't see it. Now, we saw that in the demonstration, crystal clear. Hate to bring this up, but it's true. In one demonstration, we saw someone with a projector sitting 15 feet back with Epson 955, either with the W or the WH, one of the two, but it had to be one of the two, only ones that came up in the database. But anyway, they tried to show off the OLED of the colored bow constrictor, and they tried to give off the appearance that the screen was actually seeing black. Keep in mind, those two model projectors have a 10,000 to 1 contrast ratio, and they couldn't see it, wouldn't pick up. And the reason why, because all you had to do was just look at the surrounding objects in the environment, and they were jet black. The problem was the screen wasn't. If your screen's put on 100% black level, then objects in front that are black are going to basically match or blend the screen. If you don't, then it's not going to come up. It's going to come up as gray. Make the white sheet paper. So as you can see in the demonstration, our technology not only can maintain its color on a fully lit environment, but it can outperform the white screen, which a lot of people for some reason think it has a higher white level for some reason. I don't know why that red theory came from. And as for black paint and black fabric and other surfaces, they do not have the ability to maintain or basically accept white light. And right now we're going through a transition. This is a transition, being able to change color at will without complications, without fading, without washing out, and at 1,000 lumens. Just make sure the screen is working. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let me go take care of that right now. Let's get that angle gain in there too. That's very important. As I showed you upstairs, we can go from the floor to the top to sides. It doesn't make a difference. That screen's going to maintain its angle no matter where it stands at. Let's see, right there. That's why we're going to set up the Black Series Facebook page, because not only this is going to be a page to show off the technology, but also to educate people to know what they should be looking for in demonstrations they should be seeing in screen paint demonstrations. Also doing certified too. Can't hurt them to do it too, especially that kind of money for a screen. All right. "4K Snow Screensavers, Fantasy."
Getting that from YouTube.
I like this particular one because it's a really bright snow level. Now, you see where our white levels lay at? We know we're not going to be as high as the white screen, virtually impossible. We're not saying impossible. We haven't gotten to that good yet. We're still working on that one. But as you can see the black levels that come up and the screens that can't accept white light. This is what we don't want. We don't want our screens coming up that dark. It's a bad sign that's has to go over and be done all over again and reconstructed because the white levels aren't coming up high enough. Now, if you notice, this is not an ambient light rejection test. No. We have a little more brutal test for that. But as you can see, we keep the lights on. And I see that a lot in demonstrations, and people call themselves doing testing. Like I said, I saw a very poor one done in ambient light rejection. That's an insult towards my expertise in basically this field. Where if you're doing an ambient light rejection demonstration, those lights, windows, everything stays exactly the same way as if you had it. You can't alter or change that because, again, you defeat the whole purpose of doing the ambient light rejection test to begin with. And as you can see, we're sitting nowhere near the screen at all, which you're not supposed to be sitting right on top of the screen.
The end of your journey is only the beginning of
Yeah, we
your
gotta go
story.
through this one, don't we?
Write your next chapter.
Yeah, we do.
When you have auto glass damage, let SafeLight come to you. My customer enjoys time with...
Nope. Anytime we have to go through the screen dems a little bit, it means we have to go through it. Usually I can't see a little option box because, again, 4.3. That done. We're done yet, but first I got to take off the black surface, just give you an idea where our white levels have to lay at. I do like this surface right here. I'm going to get some more different surfaces at the end of the day. Trying to do this one because I'm trying to find my my adapter and just couldn't seem to find it anywhere. And there it was right underneath of the one of the big boy projectors. All right. You know what the remote control is at. That's good. Let's begin. Facebook has an option that allows you to convert the entire page to black. That'd be pretty cool for this. I like the pre-coats, I do. Pre-coats come in handy because at the end of the day, you have to understand, you have people sometimes that have disabilities, you have people at the end of the day that may not be tool savvy, may not be working tools and stuff like that. And these screens come in handy because, again, this is something that a person doesn't have to do a lot of work at the end of the day. It's a very easy screen to set up. You don't have to build a frame for it. That's what I love about them so much. So we are going to have a Black Series for the acoustics. They're going to be upgraded. Well, like I said, this is down to time. Things are going to change out, but we need to have all this done before we go to the next step. Because at the next stage, we will not be developing anything new. All this stuff has to be done. The 67s right now, well, I won't be living at that establishment anymore once the 67 launches. The 67 is what it requires, a physical screen. That's what a 67 is. It's an actual physical screen. And then it's going to require for me to have warehouse space, workers, and major machinery to do it. So everything comes in due time. What we need from here, the next stage, is all about show and display. We'll have enough technology to be able to show off our technology in different levels, and we don't have to develop or make anything anymore because we did it here. That's what the whole purpose of being in this place, is being able to develop and work on new things. The next stage is all about showing, displaying our product, and about advertising and getting it out there. And then after we're out there, we have the storefronts, we have the investors, and everything we need to get the company flowing. Then we can invest on our own personal screen. So there's a plan behind everything that we do. And all this comes from our Lord and Savior. He's the one that actually is the master strategy on everything and how we do it. Are the prices going to be insane because we're going to be moving in different directions? No. The whole purpose of this technology was to even a playing field. So the certifieds can't basically come down to our price. They can't come down to the performance of the technology. It's to even the playing field. Actually, not thinking about it, we're not actually even the playing field. We're kind of tilting it a bit. So, reason why we need to have it locked in. We're not locking it in for the great mixtures. No. This stuff is not even tested in the day. We don't worry about that. It's the certifies. Those individuals you have to worry about. Because they have the money, the power, and the attorneys, whatever, to try to take what they can. Not saying they're going to try to take, but again, I don't entertain the thought. So, to make sure this stuff is locked in and no one can't touch it, we have to lock it in. I mean, really seriously lock it in. So they can get a clear understanding at the end of the day. If you touch this stuff, you'll see Mr. Bird in court. And I'll be sitting here smiling like he messed up. Now, as us wanting to do business with them, not going to happen. They're buying us out, not going to happen. Us having an interest in anything they have, we don't. Just don't care. It's not going to happen. Alright, let's go pop over to, but that song's stuck in my head. I swear this guy's really got stuff playing these crazy songs when we do gaming because this stuff gets stuck in my head all the time. Where the heck did you find the song Let's Go Fly a Kite? Wasn't that from Mary Poppins? Like, really? Sorry about that. I game with a particular individual, play some of the strangest songs in the background, but it's funny to play and it really does. But he has some really good selections. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Let's try her again. Skyworth food demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
I like how she said that twice, getting that from YouTube, and literally just showed me the exact same thing she found the first time, but then the third time around she changed it over to this. Now tomorrow we are going to do if we get good weather, well actually today, which will be tomorrow, you know what I'm talking about. We're going to be doing a very detailed demonstration for outside. So we're going to be doing ultra short throw, We're going to be doing 1,000 lumens, which we have here, and we're going to be doing the 5,000 lumen projector outside. And this is to show you that when we're going to be outside, we're going to have it with the white sheet, and we're going to have it with the black strip. Now, we do this because some people, like I said, it crosses some people's minds that maybe if I get a black bed sheet, we can do the same thing, or black fabric, or whatever. It's not going to work. And if I go with the white sheet or a white screen, which majority you will always see outside for any form of outdoor screen, this is the biggest mistake you will ever do for an outside setup. Now, if you didn't see the demonstration today, we showed off the series outside with the white sheet draped over top of it. That's literally what a white projection screen looks like outside. I don't care if they sit there and say, oh, you got a 2.0 or 0.1. No, your screen literally matches a white sheet of paper or a white bed sheet. That's pretty much what you have. So this is the reason why when we watch demonstrations, people see it as, oh, it looks amazing. On our end, we're seeing, oh, I want to be on my cell phone to watch the rest of the movie because that's literally how bad it looks on my end. Thought about that for a minute. Like, people have a really crazy fine palate. Can't really eat a lot of food at the day. They're the pickiest eaters ever because they have a certain way of tasting how food has to taste. I mean, I can't. If I know it's somebody's having a party and they're blowing up a white screen, I walk out. Larry, what's the point of me even being there? I know it looks different to me when I look at it. Everybody else, they look at it like it's got a wow factor. And then to sit next to somebody here and go, oh my goodness, you see the color? I'm like, I gotta go. Because I don't want to insult the person's face he's showing the movie. Like, hey man, at the end of the day, man, that screen looked like crap. That would be insulting. I just look at him and go, nice screen, and walk away. The sad thing about it is, the majority of people who have projection screen setup literally, honestly believe that they're seeing color and contrast at the end of the day. They really believe it. They think because they go out and spend all this money for a projector that they're literally seeing 100% of their projector's capability. And the sad thing it is, they're not even seeing it. Not picking up what you're supposed to be picking up. Period. People say, well, how do you know that theory? Well, look at how old my projectors are. My screen looks better than yours. People watch my demonstration, they think we're using all high-end projectors. Oh, heck, my things are old. So as you can see on the white sheets of paper, you can see where our technology is producing better color, better contrast, and all that other good stuff, and the white levels are maintaining at 1,000 lumens. And the maxed out zone at that. This allows our screen to see exactly where the heightener kicks in, or the heightener didn't even have a problem on this stuff. LG snowboarding.
Getting that from YouTube.
Usually when we do heighteners on screens, these things are generating literally so much light that we have to literally try to cap it. This one can produce that crazy white level and still maintain with no problem. That is freaking cool. But on our end, when we do these tests, we have to make sure that the screen, number one, is being able to produce a high enough white level where you see the screen. We don't want it coming out like the black surface or the black products over there. This does the transition too, which I like about this one. The video's over, it'll transition from white to the black logo and the red. put 1500. 1500 would be good enough. That's why when I see people putting up like lux meter readings, if it's at 250, if it's at 300, are you kidding me? I'm not going through that freaking spreadsheet. Either it works or it doesn't work. That's how it works. Here we go, transition. AK desired nature.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now this projector has a really, really low contrast. The contrast is something like 100 to 1 or something. It's really low. Really, really low. Yeah, there's no way in the world I could ever sit down and have a conversation with anybody who does certified screens, because I was like, what the freak does that even mean at the end of the day? What do you mean if you sit down, you have to be at a certain angle to see it, and you have to have so much light per square inch, and you have to have lights here and here to optimize. I would basically, they would basically kick me out of the meeting, because I'd be sitting there laughing. I'd just sit there and just laugh all day, like, that is a joke at the end of the day. I can sit back here and see my screen from here at 1,000 lumens. What are you talking about? Don't get it.
What's it like having Xfinity Internet? Well, you can get a next generation gateway every 3 years. It's like your life is set to upgrade mode.
That's awesome.
I know.
Wait, every 3 years?
Nice.
Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
I got an upgrade coming through. I've had mine for almost about 3 years. Almost just about. Yeah, and this year would be 3 years. I got a new one coming in. That's the case. So all that person sitting down and they have the eye level shooting out and, oh, come on. And you got to raise the screen up and down to fit. No, we're not doing all that. It's too much. Have you ever watched a projector installment before? Oh my goodness. You turn that into a drinking game literally at the end of the day. I don't drink, but you literally could turn it into a drinking game. Watch two guys lift 120 inch screen. They had to bring out this leveler and make sure it's centered right and then connect it up there, and then they have to adjust the projector, and the projector has to be a certain length, which is doing optimizing, and they got to calibrate the lights and then calibrate the projector. Meanwhile, I'm here like, they're done, hanging on the wall, paint it, dry it, hanging on the wall, set up projector, done. That's it. Go work on the next screen. LG jazz demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
LG jazz demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Yeah, all that stuff is just basic protocol. Look at that stuff when they say calibrating, aka your screen can't see color. Ambient light controlled environment, aka your screen can't see in a fully lit environment. High-end projector, making up for what the screen can do. It's pretty much what I see. I can't believe that. That's what I found kind of interesting. When I was trying to get the Dragonfly and I was talking to him, he was available. Call the freaking store to go pick it down to the store to go to a particular dealership to get the screen, the sample screen. They want samples from us, but we go down and get samples from them. It's another story. So So we get down there and no one picks up the phone. Try to figure out, okay, I'll call it the next day. They must have saw the videos when I sat there and said, at the end of the day, and I'm being honest and upfront, your environments are too dark. You can't operate in those environments. We literally would have to bring the screen down here for proper testing because we can't be in that environment. It's too dark. I'm going to test it. You're talking about ambient light projection technology? Why would I be in a controlled environment? That's just pointless. So, I guess they didn't like the comment, but no, I don't care. So, not being disrespectful, like I said, people are very nice, very polite, but if you're talking about ambient light projection technology, you're not going to catch Mr. Bird in an ambient light controlled environment. And I'm sure enough, I'm not going to use a high-end projector to do it. It's not going to happen. So, go down there, contact them, and now I'm being told that they don't have any sample screens. Okay, then, okay, I already know what that means from the door. Fine. Doesn't bother me not at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, you give a gunmetal screen, that technology is going to overwhelm your screen. But better pray and never say out of your mouth to Mr. Bird at the end of the day that, oh yeah, we can take, oh, okay, don't say that. Honestly, you won't like the outcome of it all. If someone sit there and say, well, we can take on the screen, all right, especially if I've seen your environments being ambient light controlled and all high-end projectors in there, you know automatically from the door you can't take the screen on. The environments are too weak. Too weak with a crush. Yeah, too weak. Let me see. All right, we did that right there. Pretty much. Did we hit the hour yet? Nope. TLC 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, when the camera's off, when I'm in bed, I'm researching companies. That's what I'm doing. On my cell phone, watching tons and tons and tons of their demonstrations. And if I see your screen, certified screen, the message to you. If I see your screen, sit in an ambient light controlled environment, using high power, extremely expensive projectors, we already know from the door what's going to happen to your screen if it ever comes down here to go against any of this technology. I would love to be to see a screen on one of these old projectors that we're using, a certified company using one of these old projectors that we're using in a ported environment. Oh, that would make my tail wag at this day. The reason why I haven't seen a certified black screen yet is because their theory that they stand behind is that the black screen does not have a capability to pull a high enough white level, especially in an extremely well-lit environment, due to the fact that the screen is black itself. This is why they stick to really, really heavy gunmetal screens, almost near black, but not quite black, and that reflective surface, which I think plagues the screen at the end of the day because it causes a narrow viewing cone effect. Generates too much white light, which washes out the screen automatically from the door. Some of them don't even work well with ultra short projectors. They have issues with those. Even at a heavy gunmetal, you're not going to match the screen that's black. It's not going to happen. We have hit our 1 hour mark. When we do the test demonstration, minimum I like to be is an hour. People right now that has black screen paints probably watching like, wait a minute, how long is he on for testing? Live for 1 hour? Are you kidding me? What is he testing? Everything. You're supposed to be on for that long. real demonstration. 2.0 's test demonstration. I think the test demonstration, entire test is 3 hours. 1 hour went to Ultra Short Throw alone by itself. Oh, did that in 1 day. Less than a day. And 3 hours in that 1 day. Breathing. Ooh. Okily dokily. That's good. No, like I said, the only people who get upset over these videos are the naysayers, which we don't care, and the certifies, which we don't care. To the customers, they freaking love it because this means they get their hands on amazing technology and it's not going to cost them a ton of money. By the way, the Black Series will only be available in 32s. Literally, that's all we need is 32s, and the reason why, if you watch me paint the screen now, which we'll do another panel demonstration in a 32 container, and you will watch me repaint this screen, which is 129 and 1610 customized, and the one we have upstairs, which comes in at 120 inches. That's how much coverage that product has. So that's how much able to cover what we had when we made the product. So it has extremely enough coverage. The average projection screen in a home is about 100 to 120 inches. Some people get 150 inches, but like I said, anything over top of that is just going to be for pretty much for store use. Very few people have 200 and 250 inch screens sitting in their homes. If anybody says, oh, you got a big 250 inch? I got one in the backyard. It's a big, big screen. It's not even, really, honestly, in the house, not even, if you have a lot of room, you have a lot of room for it. It's not a comfortable screen to watch. I sit back 18 feet on that screen. Even out there, it's a little bit overwhelming. So for me, a comfortable screen, what I use throughout the entire house, I use anything under a 30. That's what I use in the house. The 27s, 29s, and even this one, I'm not even on it all the time. My main screen is 127 inches. That's what I use for out of all the screens in the house. That's the most comfortable screen I have right now that I use. But 120 inch, you don't need to go any bigger than that unless you're doing something like you got a rec room downstairs, plenty of room. That's fantastic. There's something up there you're going to have for you and your family. 120 inches, oh yes, a big screen. Got 150 inch in one room. I never even used that screen. I go in there. Matter of fact, the most I've used that screen is when we had the 126 in there. I used it just about every day. But 150 inch, we just use that for display, a little game, and that's basically about it. It's a showcase screen. The main screen you see will be sitting in the lounge. As a matter of fact, yeah. What's the point? I'm leaving anyway. I'm thinking about taking that screen in. Well, you know, no. We need it's a showcase screen. I convert one of them that I use every day. So I'll take that one off the ceiling, take it down. The good thing it's lightweight. Carry it all the way down to the driveway, flip it over, and basically I can roll or spray if I want. It has two options. You can roll or spray on the Black Series. No, what am I doing? It's a roll-on application. The freak am I taking off? I can just take it off and lay it in the middle of the floor and roll over top of it and just put it right back up. What am I doing? I'm going the hard way with that one. Yeah, that's a 44. All right, well, that's it. I'm happy with that. We got the low lumen test, so now I can put that on the specification sheet. Because right now we are designing a specification sheet for it. I have to bring down the 3D mapping, because we have to do some 3D mapping applications. Oh, wait. We're not using the gamers for 3D applications. Actually, it's a different screen paint for 3D mapping application. The Black Series has like 5 or 6. We haven't decided how. Actually, we're at 5. There's only 5 of them, but we haven't decided the rest of them. One does involve for special effects and 3D mapping applications. That's the front and rear invisible technology. So we're going to get ready to get done to that. But first, I think first we have to finish this one first. All right. It's good to know. For me, I gotta know. I have to know if the screen is going to do exactly what it was designed to do. So I have to know. Oh, this is I'm tired or any rest. I have to know. We're going to pick up from eBay a NEC. I used to have them here. NEC NP1150. That's a pretty cool projector right there. It's not an expensive projector. I want to show you how it's going to look on our screens. You can get them for like 50, 60 bucks. They don't have a 1080p. I don't think I've seen a 1080p, but they're around like 4,000, 5,000 lumens. Some come with the ones for 4,000 lumens do not have an HDMI port, so we're just going to do an HDI to a VGA HDMI converter, which, like I said, is you can't tell one from the other. Here. No. So we're just going to convert that projector using our HDMI to VGA adapter, so we can actually run our Fire Sticks to the backup. As a matter of fact, there's two of the VGA outputs. We're going to convert both of those into HDMIs, make an HDMI projector. And we're going to use that. Now the reason why I like that particular projector, because those projectors have these. That projector has the option to be able to swap out its lenses. This is the lens that runs for that projector, and you see MP1150. These are lenses that you can go and you can actually swap out your projector. So this one right here is a standard throw, and this right here is a zoom lens right here. That will allow you to give you that movie theater kind of booth effect for your setup. Has a quick release, which allows you to go and press one button and then release the lens, and you're done. Also too, we're going to have to do a demonstration also too on the knockoff projector, because we do have a knockoff projector down here for those demonstrations also. So we warn you, do not use knockoff projectors with the Black Series or any of our products at the end of the day, because they will not work. All right, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Got to go. Thank you all, and God bless.